today we have Geechie Dan out of Brooklyn, New York. Is
Nope.
that correct?
Queens, New York.
Queens, New York. Okay. So tell us a little bit more about who you are, Geechie.
Okay, well, my name is Geechie Dan. I'm the executive director of the Hip Hop Museum in DC. I'm also the global brand ambassador for Generation Hip Hop Global. I'm also on the advisory board of Hip Hop Boulevard, and I am the creator and CEO of the Geechie Dan Hip Hop Tape Show. I got the tapes.
Okay, you got a lot of original tapes that was done back in the day, from house parties, from hip hop, like when hip hop really started thriving. You got a lot of those original tapes, and I was watching one of your shows, and kind of tell us about how it happened. I know you were in a rap battle, but explain to my viewers like what exactly happened.
Well, exactly what happened. I've been collecting tapes since I was a teenager. And I started out rapping in 1983, around the same time as well. 1983 was just everything that I started doing was in 1983 and 1984. I started rapping out in the streets and at the clubs, little, good spots, at the park, house parties. This was in 1983. I started collecting tapes of all our hip hop icons. At that time, I was able to get snippets of the parties, block parties, house parties, park jams, clubs, that these hip hop icons, these brothers and sisters, were performing at that time. And I got down with Zulu Nation, which is a hip hop organization based out of the Bronx. I got down with Zulu Nation in 83, 84. And then in 1984, late 83, early 1984, I got down with WBAU, Adelphi University College Radio, 90.3 FM, with Dr. Dre from UNTV Rap. He was doing a show called The Operating Room, and he was also a student, and he was part of a hip hop group, Original Concept, with T Money from UNTV Rap, and they were all students, and we was all down together with the radios, the college radio, along with Spectrum City. That consisted of Public Enemy. At that time, it was Chuck D from Public Enemy, and Flavor Flav, or back then he was known as DJ MC Flavor. And they too were, doing their thing at the radio station as well, along with Hank Shockley, Keith Shockley, the Bomb Squad, Bill Stephanie, DJ Johnny Juice. All of us started, respectfully doing our thing at the radio station.
So you had tapes and things like that, and you had like a lot of tapes that they wanted because nobody was doing tapes the way you had kept them. So
right, nobody was.
You archived pretty much everything that was going on, right?
Yes, at that time. Now, I didn't have that many tapes. I had about 10, 15 tapes at that time, back in 83, 84. But they were snippets of parties. Instead of the entire jam, I had maybe 15 minutes of it. So by 1985, by the time I graduated high school, I had about a good 40 tapes at that time, 30 tapes at that time. I started accumulating tapes. As time went on, people, I started networking with different people outside of Queens, and I was networking with, other Zulu Nation members, and, different people throughout the city, in New York, and, the Tri-state area.
So were you, like, you and LL Cool J is best friends, or?
We grew up together.
Okay.
He lived on one side of Farmers Boulevard, about 6 blocks away from me, and I lived on the other side of Farmers Boulevard. And we used to play street football together. We used to kick it around the way. We used to rhyme together. I went at him at a club. I went at him, and it wasn't anything personal. I was just getting at him. I did a sneak attack, so to speak. When you sneak somebody, they not there. So I dissed him on the mic, and he heard about it, and then he came through later on, and he approached me, and we had a little shoving match, and we had some words. We didn't fight. The party was over, and then later on, several months later, me and him actually battled.
Oh, wow.
I went first, and then he went second, and then I lost that.
Was that a little bit before he kind of blew up to who he is today?
Yes, that's correct. He used to, live hip hop the way I, dream. He had dreams, similar to what, to myself. We was dreaming. At that time, we wanted to have we wanted to be heard on the radio. That was the big thing. We wanted to hear whatever song we was doing or whether rap we was doing. We wanted to hear it on BLS or Kiss FM at the time. So, he was very aggressive, passionate, just like myself, and wanted to pursue rap, and he made a demo called I Need a Beat, which was his first song, I Need a Beat, and his first single. And I remember him playing I Need a Beat on a cassette tape. He played the demo before it became an actual record. He played the song for me about 8 times. He played it for me, and I said it was dope. And then he was like, yo, does it sound good? Does it sound good? I'm like, yo, Todd, it sounds dope. And he'll rewind the tape back again and let it play again. And I'm like, Todd, it sounds good. Yo, you didn't hear this part, did you? Let me make sure you didn't miss it. So he was like that, and he ended up replaying the song 8 times for me. That's how he was. So I respect him for really being aggressive and pursuing his dream. So I have to give him a lot of credit and a lot of love for that, because he was really gun-ho about making it happen for himself. So, respect the big shout out to LL Cool J, no doubt.
And hopefully he'll watch this video, this interview with you, and appreciate the love, because I see you guys are kind of like, you're pretty close. I see a few recent photos of you guys, so that's awesome. I know you had a couple of obstacles in the music industry, and some of it being, your mom you guys were a Jehovah Witness.
My mother, yes.
And I kind of learned a little bit through some of your interviews about how that affected not only your personal life, but also you evolving into someone you wanted to be. Can you talk to my viewers about how it was for you growing up as a Jehovah Witness?
Ooh. Yeah, well, that was a difficult time, because going to the Kingdom Hall, let me backtrack. My father died in 1974. And in 1974, my mother was studying with the Jehovah's Witnesses. And when my father took my mother to the Kingdom Hall or to the book study for meetings, I did not go with her. I stayed with my father. And my father, helped me down. He was like, no, if he doesn't want to go, so he doesn't have to go. He's with me. So that protected me. He protected me from that, attending the Kingdom Hall. Everything changed September 1st, 1974. We went on vacation in Acapulco, and my my mother gave my father Valium instead of aspirin for a headache, and then my father went out swimming and drowned, because we all know what Valium does. It slows your body down. So now going back to, we leave in Acapulco, Mexico, and we're going back to, we're going back to New York, and my father's casket is on the plane, and it was just like, oh my God, my life was turned upside down. And I was 7 years old at that time, and I didn't understand a lot, but I understand that I had to start going to the Kingdom Hall immediately right after that. And then my mother became a full-fledged Jehovah's Witness. She got baptized. Actually, she got baptized in September of, I'm sorry. She got baptized November 4th, 1974. And the Jehovah's Witnesses at that time was putting out there in their publication and in the public meetings, that Armageddon was coming in 1975, the end of the world. And they suggested that we no longer pursue, higher education. We no longer, pursue college and, high paying jobs and, that type of thinking mindset, because the end of the world was coming. There's no need for us to, there's no need for us to go for higher college, university, and higher education, because we won't be able to use it.
Right.
So that was the doctrine of the Jehovah's Witnesses at that time, that, they discouraged their members not to pursue, that route. And my mother was telling me my father was coming back from the dead. He just died in September, and she's telling me now in 1975, my father was coming back from the dead. Armageddon was going to come, and everybody that died that's in the graveyard will come back to life.
Ooh, I mean, I know that had to been like traumatizing, and for you to be 7 years old, I could barely remember what I was doing at 7 years old, and for you to remember such distinctive,
I had to go to therapy because of my father's death, that greatly affected me. Absolutely. Not only did I had to go to a psychiatrist, but now that my mother's telling me this, she's also, I'm telling this to the therapist, and the therapist is like, Miss Chamberlain, why are you telling your son this? He's 7 years old. Why are you telling your son that his father's coming back from the dead? So, it was like a double whammy for me.
Yeah,
I had to endure this.
Yeah, it probably, I mean, I'm sure it scares you. You probably like, is he gonna appear today? Is he? I mean, is this real?
I'm looking out the window. I'm waiting. I'm looking out the window, and then I'm looking on the TV. I'm listening to the radio, and I'm looking for my father to come walking down the street, back from the dead.
Right. Like, okay, we're gonna be a family again. My dad's gonna be back, and like, we're gonna get, we're gonna start over with.
Yeah, we're gonna start all over. And we're gonna eat. I'm gonna go to McDonald's again and go to his workplace, and I'm gonna go to Jones Beach again. Everything's gonna be all great. Everything's gonna be all good.
Wow.
And I'm like,
I'm sure your mom, she might have had some regrets about that, possibly.
No. No.
I'm trying,
I'm just keeping it 100. No regrets.
I mean, because like you have been able to really pick up the pieces to your life and like go, like you're everywhere. You have you're the executive. Your title is executive. What is it
Director
again? Director.
Executive director of the Hip Hop Museum in DC.
Is that a pretty big museum? I've never been there before. So.
Oh no, we just starting out. But when you come, later on in the year, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
You're going to love it. It's going to be an amazing experience. You're going to love it. We got artifacts, over 500 items
Wow. I
Yes,
mean,
so you're gonna love it.
have you been a part of making sure the right items get collected?
I'm a part of everything. My job is a non-ending position. I just do everything. You know what I'm saying? I do it all. You know, I love hip hop, and I'm
Yeah.
very passionate about making things happen and executing. You know, my mother tried to put a whammy on me with this Jehovah Witness doctrine and try to shut me down. And you know, my mother told me, you know, I would never be successful in life.
Oh my God, you are so successful. Like you
So
got, yeah.
I have to be successful.
You
I have no
are.
choice.
Yeah.
But that's my determination. That's why I fight for it, because she told me that I would never be successful in life, and that hurt.
Yeah.
My own mother tells me I can't be successful in something I love to do.
Exactly.
And that hurt, and it almost worked. She almost got me, you know, years ago when things wasn't going, you know, right for me. You know, nothing was going right for me. Then 6 years ago in Atlanta, I was living in Atlanta at the time,
Yeah.
and I was on my second marriage. And I remember losing everything. I lost my home, I lost my marriage, I lost my job, I lost my car, I lost my freedom because I got arrested for driving a vehicle without a license. My license was suspended. So I went to jail, in county jail for 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
And it was just everything that can go wrong went wrong. And that was just God clearing my slate.
Yeah.
That's what that was. God wanted to clear the slate with me and get me from the bottom of the barrel and scrape all that off of me and come up with a diamond, like he has a gem, what he has for me right now.
Right.
I'm a diamond right now. And, you know, I was on my bed. Well, let me rephrase that. I was on my son's bed, my oldest son, little Daniel. I was on his bed crying, crying I was crying. Tears could have been a puddle on the floor. It was that much water. I was crying hard.
Yeah.
And I was asking my son, what should I do? He's like, go back to New York. Go back to New York and live your dream, man. Go back to New York. You love hip hop. You love these tapes. You play these tapes more than you do regular music. You play these tapes every day, all day, back to back, repetitiously. You do this with effort. It's no effort with what you do. Go back to New York and go live your dream. And so that's what I did. I came back to New York. I didn't know where I was going to live. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know where I was going to work. All I had was unemployment benefits per week at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And God just told me to go to New York. So I came to New York, and I started doing my live streaming show, the Geechie Dan Hip Hop Tape Show, season 2. And from there, everything just been going up.
Yeah, and you know, like you have such a connection with Queens and where you're from,
Yes.
and so many different icons like LL, you know, Busta Rhymes and all them too, and like a lot of these, you know, people that came up in the industry. So I'm sure they appreciate and value what you bring to hip hop. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
the first generation, yes,
absolutely.
The first, you know, the brothers and sisters that's on these tapes had never heard a show quite like mine, because nobody was doing what I was doing. Nobody had first of all, nobody has tapes like I have.
Right, and for anybody who's watching this who don't know what he's talking about when he says tapes, we're talking about tapes, like the original tapes.
Right.
Cassette tapes, yes. And I know like we've went from CDs, and now a lot of people they're doing MP3s. Like yes.
Yeah, so now I converted all my tapes to CD and MP3 files. So now I have maybe close to 500 complete jams.
Wow.
All our hip hop icons from the first generation, from 1976 to the present, to today. I have UK tours in the United Kingdom, in the UK. I got park jams. I got block parties.
What is one of your favorite block parties that you have?
Oh boy, see,
I know. Okay, how about this? Top 3.
Top 3. That's hard. We got to do maybe a top 10, maybe a 7.
You got that many?
I got almost 500 jams.
Wow. Okay, but the park jams, like what was one of your favorite park jam block parties that you could just, like, that when you think of it, it comes to mind right there?
All right. I got, one of my favorites is Jam Master Jay at a park jam in Queens. He's in Baisley Park, and he battles my friend, the amazing DeWitt, 1989. And this is probably the only jam that you will hear Jam Master Jay in the park. You probably will never hear another tape or event or function with Jam Master Jay live at a battle in a park.
Wow.
So that's iconic. That's a classic.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites. Another one of my favorites is a tape of Mikey D. Big shout out to Mikey D Destruction from Queens. He was at a park jam at 231 Park in 1986. And he was with DJ Amazing DeWitt, his DJ Johnny Quest, Kid Quick, Cutmaster JT, and rapper Shane. And they was at a park jam. Oh man, that's another one, another iconic classic park jam. That's one of my favorites. There's a jam at Harlem World with the Cold Crush 4 MCs, and they battled the Fantastic 5 MCs. That was in 1981, I believe, and that was another classic. Another one is the Kumo D Busy Bee battle. That's another favorite of mine. And I have a Zulu Nation tape from 1981 at Zulu Nation Anniversary in Bronx River Projects Community Center. That's another dope tape. Well, jam. That's a dope jam. So that's 5 right there. And there's about 10 more that's up there with that. But you wanted 5, so I gave you 5.
I mean, you got quite a bit, and
yeah, I do.
I've seen you on, a ton of radio stations. People are always like trying to get the most out of you with these tapes because they're like, man, you got a lot of tapes. I mean, you got something nobody else have that's really like,
yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. It's precious. Yeah, it's precious. And I know you have a book that you wrote too.
Yes.
If any of my viewers want to find your book, where can they find it at?
It's on Amazon.
Okay.
It's called The Kingdom Hall No More. It's about my 16 years experiences with the Jehovah's Witnesses in Hollis, Queens, New York. I discuss all my, adventures with the Kingdom Hall, and awesome. With the 16 years that I was attending the Kingdom Hall.
That's good. You know what? Somebody might really want to read your book and learn a little bit more about you, because I know it's fascinating, and it's nothing like that's crazy. Without recalling so many bad memories of it. But it's really great to see how well you're doing right now. Now with this museum that you have, has COVID-19 affected like your opening and things like that?
No, everything is good.
That's good. It's been giving you the time you guys need to get set up. And
yes, and we're going to be reopening in September, and we have we're going to rename our museum to the home that I don't even want to. I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'll tell you. We're gonna rename our museum the home that hip hop built.
Okay.
Let me repeat it again. We're gonna rename our museum that we currently at in Georgia Avenue in the northwest of Washington, D.C. We're gonna rename it the home that hip hop built. And you'll be able to, when you come into the museum, we're going to have flyers, old original flyers. We're going to have pictures. We have the death row chair. You're going to be able to experience hearing some of my tapes on MP3 on request. We're going to have graffiti. We're going to have, we're going to have the movie Wild Style and the movie Breakin' and Beat Street, Crush Groove playing throughout the home on different TV monitors as well. We're gonna have live DJing in front of the museum, of the home. We're gonna have live DJing. We're gonna have different events. We have a tape and flyer event scheduled for October that I'm overseeing. We're gonna continue back to doing our hip hop icon induction ceremony back in September, where we're gonna induct the Treacherous 3, which consists of Kumo D, Special K, LA Sunshine. We're gonna induct Kokla Rock, one of Kool Herc's first MC. We're gonna induct T-Ski Valley, the brother from that made the record Catch the Beat. We're gonna induct Dr. Rock and the Force MCs, known as the Force MDs, with Stevie D and Jesse, his uncle. And we have other inductions, later on down the road. We're gonna have other individuals inducted into the museum as well. So you have to watch and visit us, and come, just keep, continue watching me on Facebook, and I'll put out, the information, and, I'll post it and everything, update everybody on the, the newest and the latest, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like this around right now. So what you guys are doing is extremely incredible, because it's something that we need, and it'll give everybody, well, a lot of us, a place to visit and remember and reminisce and actually see it, and the flyers and things like that. I mean, this is really cool. I'm so happy to hear that you guys are doing this.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You're gonna love it. We're gonna oh man, we're gonna rock out hard for hip hop. The home, I came up with the suggestion, instead of waiting for someone to give us $80 million or $100 million, let's utilize, let's utilize what we have right now. We're rocking out of a 3-story brownstone or a townhome. So let's rock what we have right now, and let's give the world, let's show the world the best of hip hop. Because, for years, people has been seeing and hearing the worst of hip hop, the bottom of the barrel, and I take it, personal. People have to subject themselves to hearing this nonsense and this junk, this garbage on TV and on radio, where hip hop started out. Hip hop was about love and unity. It was positive, and it was of all the elements of hip hop. The breakdancing, the graffiti, all that. The knowledge, the MC and the DJ, that all coincide with hip hop as a culture. Now, you're just getting bits and pieces of rap.
Yeah.
You're not getting the full plate of hip hop. So this museum, a big shout out to Jeremy Beaver for putting me on and making me the executive director. So now I have the opportunity to have the museum as a vehicle to preserve our culture, and so people can enjoy hip hop.
Yeah.
Tapes and the graffiti and the DJing and the battles. And we're going to bring out, not only do we have a permanent location with the home that built hip hop, but we're going to bring out the pop-up experiences where we bring out hip hop to you.
Oh, wow.
To the nearest, you know what I'm saying, to the city, to your town.
Yeah.
You know, and we want to make it a worldwide experience where we can bring our artifacts and our items from the museum out on the road, so to speak. You know, we want to hit Atlanta. We want to hit Los Angeles, Chicago. We want to hit Africa. We want to hit New Zealand, Japan, Dubai, you know, Australia, South America. We want to hit Toronto. We want to hit everybody and bring hip hop to everybody instead of waiting for everybody to come to us.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds really, really exciting. So do you think that when you guys start doing these pop-up events, the excitement is already going to be there, but are you guys going to be like holding concerts, or it's just going to be everything, live DJ, everything, just
live DJing, graffiti, break dancing, you know, you can be able to drink, smoke. We're gonna do it all. MCing. We're gonna have some of the icons, some of the hip hop icons, some of the newbies. You know, with what we doing, we including everybody. We're not just including the first generation. We including everybody that contributed to hip hop, from the West Coast, from the South, from the Midwest, from New York, from the East Coast, from Toronto, you know what I'm saying? From everywhere. Everybody contribute to this culture. And I want the icons, the first generation, to get their flowers now, today.
Yes, yes.
You know what I'm saying? I want them to get their, you know, their respect. I want them to be labeled as hip hop icons and hip hop legends, because they deserve that.
They
you know,
really
just like Pink Floyd and Mick Jagger and, you know, the rock and roll legends. They, you know what I'm saying, don't, you know, the white people and their children and their grandchildren, they know who they are. They are hip hop legends and they rock and roll icons and rock and roll legends. So the same thing applies to our hip hop legends. You know, our brothers and sisters that started hip hop, they should be revered just like the same as, you know, the rock and roll, you know, counter people, you know what I'm saying? I
agree. And you made a very, very valid point. When it comes to the rappers now and the violence that's going on, our rap music was never built on this kind of violence. I mean, I know there is like beef with Biggie and Tupac, and we went through a couple of years of that, but now, you know, we have so many of our rappers that's basically being gunned down by each other. I mean, what do you say about that? You know,
I don't like that. I hate to hear, you know, a young brother and sister getting killed, you know, doing something they love. And I just wish I wish the brothers and sisters would gravitate to knowing our history. And, you know, because what they putting out today is not hip hop. That's not hip hop. Hip hop has never been about violence, killing each other, calling women the B word, and, you know, and all this just cursing and drinking and all this nonsense. And, you know, if these younger generation would take time to study our culture, you know, study hip hop, I think this generation can make better songs. I think they can make better classics.
Well, you know, you guys should incorporate a museum, like with your museum, like a hip hop school, like a leadership.
I'm already got that in line.
You know, I mean, I'm a business woman, so I'm just thinking like on a business level.
I'm already 5 steps ahead of you. You know, yeah, I mean, I brainstorm. I don't even sleep at night sometimes. Sometimes I don't. I just stay up all night, and God just gives me this imagination of things. He just given me so much that I can do.
Yeah.
If I had, I wish there was 5 others like me.
Yeah.
Man, I could get so much accomplished. But it's only me. I try to do the best that I can do. I don't get much sleep, but I want hip hop to win. In 2020, hip hop needs to win, and we're winning.
I'm with you. So you have your radio station also.
Yes, I have a Geechie Dan hip hop tape show. Season 6 is coming in September. I will be doing the show live at Soul to Soul sneaker store in St. Albans, Queens, in my neighborhood where I grew up.
Right, you know what? How long has that sneaker store been there?
It's been there for a while.
It's been there for years, haven't it? Don't they have a place where you could DJ?
Yes.
I've been there before.
I'll be DJing. I won't be DJ. My DJ Doc Kim Wendell, he be DJing, but I'll be doing the show there at the sneaker store live for 2 hours on Saturday noon from noon to 2 p.m.
This Saturday?
Not this Saturday. It would be a Saturday in September. I don't know exactly what date right now. I will keep you updated.
Keep me updated because I love to come there.
Yes.
I love New York. Like I have a special place where I stay when I come to New York. I've been there a number of times and I'm very familiar with this particular store because I came there and when I seen a DJ up in the store, I was just like, why don't Chicago got this? Like what? I mean, you guys are.
I can't wait to one day to duplicate my show in Chicago.
Yeah.
And duplicate my show throughout the world because I want everybody to hear the tapes and the icons that's on the tapes. I want the Funky Four. I want Cold Crush. This could be LL calling me. I'm not sure.
If it is, I know I can pause it. You answer that call.
I hope.
Go ahead. We can pause it.
I'm not going to answer the phone, but I'm going to answer the phone, okay? Because it could be LL.
Okay, go ahead. He got a call from LL Cool J while we're on live. Hey. So we are interviewing Geechie Dan.
Okay, I'm back.
That's cool. But you're gonna have to make sure you tell LL Cool J about Kimberly Williams in Chicago. Like, man,
I will.
This girl is fire. She, you will have to definitely give me a shout out. I love to get him on. Right now, I've been working on Christopher Williams.
Yes, my dude. Yeah, he knows me. Yeah, when you speak to him, tell him I said what's up. He knows me.
Yeah, he's on my Instagram page. We've been going back and forth a little bit. I told him happy birthday Monday. He goes, no, my birthday is August 22nd. I said, don't worry, we on countdown now. So he was supposed to come on the show a couple of weeks ago, and I'm not sure what happened. But make sure you send him a message, like, man, you need to interview with this girl. Like she's. I'll
holler at him. I'll reach out to him. He's a good dude, good brother.
Yeah. Let him know you have a good time coming on the show with me and everything because you know what, like everything about hip hop. I love hip hop. That's kind of like hip hop is not only something musical, it's also entrepreneurial. Right. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like a lot of entrepreneurs came up through hip hop.
Yes.
It's like business 101 for Black people. And
hip hop has opened up so many doors, opportunities. I don't even have to bust a rhyme. I got so much that I can do. It's amazing. My mind is like Albert Einstein when it comes to hip hop. I got about 80, 90 ideas written down on paper.
Yeah.
That I want to accomplish.
I'm telling you, like hip hop is like it is for a business person because you have to have marketing. You gotta have your financial stuff because you gotta calculate different things you got going on. So it's like you gotta be able to have style. You gotta look fresh. It's like it's so much to hip hop. It's not just a lot of people don't realize that it's more than just putting music on paper. I mean, if some people even do that anymore, you know, maybe
No.
that's why there's so much violence, you know, because it's not just about rapping about guns and
money.
girls.
It's about the money now. It's about
flashing,
that money bag. It's not no love. Ain't no love for no hip hop. It's about the money. It's, you know, these young brothers and sisters. I'm not taking anything away from them. I wish them the best. But they, like I said, if they would love it,
yeah,
they can make better music.
absolutely.
But they don't love it, so they're not gonna make, you know, they're not gonna make good music if you're just trying to make money. You know, that's like going to work for somebody that you don't want to be there. You ain't gonna give them the best performance. You ain't gonna give them the best out of you. You just giving them, you know, just enough to get by, just to get a check.
Right.
But when you love something, you give it your all. You give it 150%. You give it your heart, and that's what I do, because I love it. I love hip hop.
Yeah, I know. I know you've been such a good, great inspiration for me, and you've had my back since I've been doing the show, and I really appreciate you, because I'm not in New York. I'm in Chicago, but you show me just as much. You treat me as if I was there, you know, and I really appreciate that, because
I treat you just like I treat everybody. I'm all over the world. You know,
absolutely.
I talk. I'm telling you, it's very humbling. This is a humbling lifestyle for me, for what I do. I talked to Nelson Mandela's grandson last Thursday. Mm-hmm. We chatted. We got an opportunity to, you know, to introduce ourselves through a mutual friend. And I was like, I kept looking at the phone like, am I really chatting with Nelson Mandela's grandson? This was crazy to me. Like, this brother, he loves hip hop. And, you know, we talking about doing some global iconic events in Africa and in New York. That's crazy to me.
It is. And
5 years ago, I was just about homeless. Yeah. And then 5 years later, God has given me happiness. You know, I remarried. I got remarried.
Congratulations.
For the third and hopefully for the last time. And, you know, like, everything that I've been praying about and everything that's been in my imagination, everything that I've been written down, everything that I've been asking God for, He's been delivering. And He told me, don't even worry. Just continue having faith, and I'll bless you 10 times more than what you ever had in your life.
Wow.
And I really believe that. So now I move on faith. I don't know how I'm doing it, but I'm doing it. God is just making a way for me.
I appreciate that. I know how you're doing it.
A way for me. And when you do right by people, let me tell you something too, Kim. When you do right by people, and you do the right thing, just do the right thing in business, and you do the right thing in your marriage, and you do the right thing by people, by your employer, everything, by just humans in general, just life. Just do the right thing, and you're gonna be blessed. God is gonna bless you.
Stop! You are going to make me cry. Don't make me cry.
I'm telling you.
I know. I know. I feel that.
That's the way it is. You got to understand. God is using me as a vehicle for this.
I believe you.
I'm not doing this on my own.
Yeah, I believe you. And you know, like, sometimes you have to go through a lot to get to where you are. You know, and I just went through.
I'm not perfect by far.
I get that, but you know, you're ministering to me as we have this conversation. Right. You don't understand that. You're ministering to me. You know, because a lot of people don't believe in you because they don't believe in themselves. So I believe in myself, and you know,
you have to have confidence in yourself.
Absolutely,
and you got to love yourself. For you to love people, you got to love yourself. And that was the problem with my second marriage. You know, when you with someone that doesn't love themselves, they can't love you. No matter how much you try, no matter how much you beg them to love you, they can't. It's not like they trying not not to. They just don't know how, because they don't know how to love themselves.
And like with me, I'm very determined.
Yes,
I'm very determined.
Just like me.
And like I've been through so many different things and failures. I have my own businesses, and it's taught me a lot. I appreciate everything it's taught me, because I think if I would have had those failures, I really wouldn't be who I am today, and it's made me such a stronger person. And some people don't understand where that strength comes from. That strength comes from the lessons you've learned in business. And whether Chicago is going to cheer me on and be there for me, my show is still going on. And I mean, I'm telling you, God has placed people like yourselves in my life. So many people I cannot even begin to name.
Right.
And I really appreciate that, because I'm by myself doing this, and I get a lot of my energy from people like you when I do my interviews, because like-minded, we're like-minded, and a lot of people just they just giving up. Our age group, a lot of people just want to go work for somebody and that's it, and so I just really appreciate you ministering to me. I'm so happy.
All I'm doing is sharing what I went through, and hopefully it'll you'll be like, okay, I understand, I get it.
I do.
And my thing is always to be repetitious in telling my testimony. So
I get it.
If I could be repetitious in telling my testimony, somewhere along the line, somebody would get it. People would get it.
I do get it, and I get it, and I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for your wife. I have so much love and respect for the both of you guys, because it's encouraging. It's encouraging to see that you guys are partnering up together in business. Like you guys are handling your business, and you're growing as not only individuals, but you're growing as a couple too, and that's really great to see. I just want everybody who's watching the show to be able to find you, because I want them to follow you, because you're a force to be reckoned with as well. So where can they find you at?
I'm on Geechie_NYC on Twitter. I'm on Instagram as Geechie Dan Hollis. I'm on Facebook as Geechie Dan, and I got the tapes.
You got the tapes.
Yes, I do. I got the tapes. That's what it is.
And for people in New York, when does your show come on? Season 6?
Season 6, it will start in September, Saturday, noon to 2 p.m. I don't have an exact date right now, and I'll be doing my show out in St. Albans, Queens. This is where I grew up. This is my old neighborhood, my old stomping grounds in St. Albans, Queens, on Linden Boulevard, right around the corner from where Tribe Called Quest grew up.
Okay, cool. That sounds good. Have you ever been to the Real Sway show?
No, I want to get on him. I need to get at him so I can get on his show too.
Yeah, I'm sure that's coming. So
it's coming.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be knocking on. Trust me. If you know me, I'm gonna be knocking on his door too, and he can be like, "Who's this?" And he gonna be like, "Who's this knocking on my door?" I'm like, "It's Geechie Dan." Who? Geechie Dan. You need to let me in. So we need to speak. And that's how my approach has been. You either gonna say yes, or you're gonna either say no. But you ain't gonna never find out unless you try. So that's what I do. Yeah. You're gonna say, Geechie, it's a pleasure, and then it's a respect, but I can't have you on my show right now. Okay, fine, thank you. Or he can say, wow, it's a pleasure meeting you. I've been hearing a lot of great things about you. When can you come on? Thank you very much.
Well, we're excited. So I appreciate you coming on to my show. I'm so honored that you came and spent some time with us. I'm gonna go ahead and
if you want to do a part 2, let me know. Do part 2 too. My testimony is deep.
Okay.